right now we're on our way to the armory where they have like gems and like stuff from the olden days. They have lots of cool stuff there, and I'm really excited to be there. But so right now we're like underground because traffic is really bad in Russia, and like so instead of crossing the street, which takes longer, they have this in a lot of other cities, but they have underground areas where you can walk through, and we're getting out like right there. You can kind of see the light, but yeah, this is it. This is the Kremlin. Okay, so we're on our way to we're at the entrance of the Kremlin, and you know, if you see right over there, you can see the wall, how it kind of has like little curves right here. Now those curves, those were meant so that way they could put, so that way if it were to be under attack, the military could put guns right there and could shoot out the whoever they were fighting. But so if you look over here, you can see like the detailing. Like they did this by hand, like by hand. This type of masonry, this in America, this would be like art. Like you'd have it at such a smaller scale. But if you're not showing you, like you can look right there. All those flowers were done by hand. It's amazing. And especially like over there. If it wasn't precise, it wasn't good enough. And I mean that's just like really amazing, because you'd never have something like this done, even for like the richest man in the world, even now, because it would just take too long. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes it took more than a czar's lifetime to have a cathedral built. For example, they could have like a czar, like maybe say you were a czar, and you decided you wanted a cathedral built, and more than likely it wouldn't even be built until your son or whoever was your next in line for the throne was the czar. And so it just takes so long. And like to think, I personally, most people would be greedy. They'd be like, hey, you know, I want this cathedral for me, so I'm not gonna make it as good, and I'm probably gonna enslave people. Now I'm pretty sure they enslaved people before. I'm not exactly sure about the exact history of like who worked on these cathedrals, but I mean, you'd think it'd have to be talented people at least. For like some of the more boring, for some of the more plain stuff, they might have done for, I don't know, not as skilled, and also maybe not for the czar, maybe like dukes. But for the most detailed work, it's amazing. Like I said, even the horse's stable is looking that good. It's like a mansion. Okay, so we just got out from the armory, and I wasn't able to record much in there, except for that clip that you just saw. But, so now we're going to the cannons and the Tsar's bell. And there's this like legend in history that some of the cannons were too big to even roll out onto the battlefield, so they never used them. It basically just sat there as like a big statue. And like the cannonballs were huge. They were like almost the size of like 7 bowling balls. And so, you don't know what's the point of this? Let me film for you. What? I'm filming myself. Alright guys, so here we are at, right behind me, a cannon that big. Now I'm not sure if you can see how big it actually is, but like the balls were so big, they couldn't actually, or the cannonballs, they were so big they couldn't actually lift it. They couldn't lift it into the cannon. But so like they never actually used the cannonballs, because the time when they actually had the proper pulley systems and they were able to actually lift the balls into the cannon, or hypothetically, it was no time to actually use it. And then afterwards, in other wars, cannons were not used as primarily. So this cannon was actually never used, but it's absolutely huge. It's like almost the size of like 7 men, and the cannonballs are like almost like one person, or maybe 2 people actually crawled up into a ball. You can see over there. I mean, it's huge. Like, look at the people next to it. And just look at this.
The weight
Look at that line. That's like even bigger than like
40 tons.
a normal. It's the weight to the barrel 40 tons. It's 40 tons. Like that's 20 elephants. 20 elephants. Like when are you able to lift 20 elephants in a time when you still use cannons? All right. So another fun fact about Russia is you see right behind me, right there. So that little dome-shaped area. In the olden days, if the Tsar didn't like you, or the Tsar just wanted to execute you in public, that's where they do executions. You can even see that little stone, or that little stone right there. They could do executions. And like, imagine just having them like get wood and like hooking your head up there and just slicing it off. It's terrifying.